At using the word to correct bad thoughts and words that lead to bad actions. So, you gotta understand Ark of Covenant. So, it's not I think. I don't really, it's not that I think. Because, when you have people that, they want to seek knowledge and wisdom, always seeking knowledge and wisdom and never stop learning, it's like, why? You keep trying to grasp the infinite with the finite, it's going to drive you mad, and you're going to turn into an insane, selfish wackadoodle, which you already have. Okay, so, but no, just share that which is right. Understand that which is right, and then enjoy that which is right. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. It's life is sacrifice. So, you go, grandfather, that memory when my one twin got hit by the bear. Why are you bringing back? You ever watch Windwalker? All right. And so, guys, listen to me. I'm much more intelligent than you that think you have lots of money and able to manipulate people with your technology and your money. You stupido. So you listen to me, okay. So, this guy, Jerry, brought this gentleman over to Chilolo. He's from Gallup to work on our electricity. And he did what I thought we should probably do is try to find a hot wire, just plug it in, get a cord with a hot wire on it, tie it up, and then plug it into the wall for the time being so the air conditioner could run and keep the place cool. And he's going to come in tomorrow and climb up in the ceiling. Yeah, I know. I was like, Jared, can we cut a hole through the thing and I'll repair it? I just don't want him going up in that roof. Just don't want him going up in that roof. But he's done it, so he'll do it. But I'm like, I just don't want him going up in that roof. But I would do it if I had to, if I knew what I was doing and stuff, because we joked about that because we're poor people, so, well, you owe us money to feed your kids, so okay, off to the salt mines I go. We know what it's like. Okay, shit, here we go again. So you just feel bad because it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to send that poor gentleman up into the roof. But he's gonna be here tomorrow 6, and we'll get up and get that. We got two different cats. It's not Angus and Taco Bell. They couldn't catch those or put them together or whatever. So we got two feral tabby cats, not like Sly, they're not like Smitty, similar coloring but different, very different. One's named Mr. Butters, and the other one's named Element. And Element is really not happy to be here. And Butters, neither happy or not, just what the hell. So I'm just sitting there watching them both. And Butters has green eyes and Element has yellow eyes. And so you just basically that's how you tell them apart pretty much, because they almost look alike. One's a little bit bigger than the other. Butters a little bit bigger than Element. But Element is not happy to be here. It made it known. So they're both sitting up by each other on top of the cage because they've been in captivity together. And they have to wait here for 2 weeks to get acclimated before they can get up and patrol around the grounds until you feel at home, right? So I'm out there talking to them, and they're interesting. Dad was out there talking to them to tell them not to eat the birds. I was like, I don't think that's going to work, Dad. Imagine being fed knowing what chicken wings and chicken breast from KFC and all that. Well, not KFC, from Grandma. Grandma made it. Okay, that's from original. Those are recipes from people that feed their children and fry it so the food can last longer. So you got leftovers. Okay, so it's not Colonel Sanders, not KFC. It's food made by people that understood things and did it to make it taste good and keep it, and then if you eat it, you wrap it up and you have more for the next day. You make sure the critters, you put it up on a cabinet and a shelf and this and that, but high and away, and you cover it with, we had a lot of tape, little cloths, red checkered cloths, red and white checkered cloths, and you put them up in the thing, and you'd find ways to, that's why we have plastic things now. You can store them, and you have a refrigerator so it doesn't hit certain temperatures to where it can make you sick if you eat it and stuff. So we've come up with a lot of scientific observation, analysis, and processing of, that's not fun when someone gets sick like that. So we've gotten better at that. So when when you understand things and you pass it on because it's right, like David and Solomon and Samuels and Kings and stuff. And so, like Haile Selassie also said, because he's John the Baptist's relative, who's okay. And so, good communication, reliable source of communication information. Not trying to quantify the whole universe in his brain and make it whacked out and go, oh shit, that's a lonely place to be. Because it's a lonely place to jump inside a selfish person's head. It's lonely because it's completely absorbed with them, and there's no place for anybody else to enjoy being with them. So it's horrible. My wife's got a lot that way. They found other people that they can enjoy being with, apparently. So I'm like, well, that's cool. That's nice to know. Me, like I said, I got to the point where them, besides you and you, is there anything else you want to talk about? And then you just can't do that. Well, I can't. I guess other people can. I guess other people, she's a good-hearted woman in love with good time, and man, and it's not good time, and it's selfish and stupid. She's a patient woman in love with a selfish and stupid man. Oh man, they're gonna have selfish and stupid kids most likely. Okay, that's not good. It's patience. Women are always the ones that they don't fall for religion. They're tired of being raped and abused, and Stockholm syndrome into the group. And my mom, Earl, you can't do that. If you call all the if a woman calls bitchy men on their shit, she's just being a bitch. If a man calls bitchy men on their shit, they kill him. And then they turn him into myth. And then they assimilate them to their bitchy club. And you're like, yeah, I know. Trust me. I know. I was raised in the Mormon church. And we went into Eckankar after that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know exactly what it's like to be a man assimilated into the bitchy man club. Okay, turned into mythology in the bitchy man club. I know exactly what it's like. Okay, I'm blowing this popsicle stand, right? Hey, look, there's smoke coming out of it. They're going to put a new guy in a dress and say he acts like Jesus. Okay. Jesus ain't like that. No, Jesus wears shepherd robes because that's what the poor people that he lived with and worked with lived in. Okay. Today, Jesus would probably wear, a t-shirt from Walmart, some underwear from Walmart, some socks from Walmart, comfortable shoes from Walmart, that you can work in but also play in, multi-purpose, like moccasins and stuff, and sandals. Sandal and moccasins are really good, right? Because they cover up your whole foot so the stuff doesn't get in the heat and the sand and the rocks getting up in between your toes and stuff like that. Moccasins were a very intelligent invention. And with moccasins, when they did it, use the thickest part on the bottom, obviously, and then the other part to cover it up and stuff. And you can double layer the leather and the skin from the animal. You can double layer it for the bottom, so it wears out less and stuff. So there's a lot of things you can do very intelligent when you're making your moccasins to go walking around in the desert. So people. But it's been an interesting day. But I was watching some of the foosball. I've been watching some of the football tournament, and I noticed there's these two players specifically that they talk a lot about. And you can see why one is more popular than the other. They had the little number 10 kid for Argentina, right? He gets tackled, knocked down. He's joking and laughing with the guys getting back up. Okay, nice try, Yeah. I'm like, wow. That guy tackled him, but it was a good tackle. It wasn't dirty, and he knew it. Okay. And so Messi goes, oh, okay, you got me. And he's shaking hands, right? Okay, good. Okay, you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. You good? Okay. Then I'm watching this number 7 for Portugal. Right? And his body language is atrocious. If I was his coach, I'd kick his ass. I was like, what? One of his teammates doesn't get the ball to him around one of the good defenders from Spain in a timely manner, and he huff and puff and puff. It's like, aren't you like 40 and shit? Like, I'm just kidding. Ain't you old and shit? Isn't this your last World Cup and everything? Right? Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on. And then, he gets the ball, stopped by one of his teammates, gets it back up to a forward position. He kicks it back to the guy, and then immediately, because it draws the other guy off, he's raising his hand. Give me the ball back. Give me the ball back, Instead of just like, hey, he's condescending. He treats his teammates as if they're not any good and abusive and all that. I told you that's why people like to play with me. Other guys that were, I'm the best and he thinks he's all that, did not know. They pushed me into the pole and laugh and stuff. But um, other guys that were decent guys loved it. Oh wow, Earl, it's okay, baby. We all mess up. Get up, let's go. Let's go. It's okay, it happens. He's really good. Okay, yeah. I'm watching the Spain side. It's like they are really good. I can see why they're probably favored to win the tournament. They have a really good side. They have a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. They're very cohesive. Yeah, Spain has a good football team. Okay, I watched Argentina and they're good, but Spain is good. Yeah, and they're young, and they have a lot of talent, a lot of speed, and their lead guy's probably a little bit older than everybody else, but he's very calm and he distributes the ball real well. And I'm sure Argentina's aware of that. Okay, yeah, he's good, and these other kids are young, but they're good. They're a good side, and they have a good goalie. And so yeah, they're a good side. So you're watching them going, oh, that's a good football team. Yeah, it is. It's going to be hard to get past them if you're wanting to win the last game. And they may win the last one. They're that good. So they're watching that. They're really good. Yeah. We can watch their pace and their ability to mark on defense, and yeah, they're good. Okay, those guys are good. Because you watch certain teams where guys can get around the edge, and the guys running like hell to catch them, and these guys in Spain, no. It's kind of like, when you're quick and you're a good defender, you pretty much direct the guy the way you want him to go. You get out in front of him, like turning on Scott's forehand, right? He's gonna go that way. No, you're not. You do that, and it's like, and then it makes it kind of frustrating for the other guy because he can't do everything that's real easy to beat other people against you, and they get mad, and you just go. It's just sports. It's like if I had the words to make a day for you. It's just like being Babe with the sheep, and his mom, the dog, right? that's all it's doing, right? It ain't like it's the end of the world. Don't tell me it's the end of the world. Okay, I don't have that on my MP3. I need to put that on there. But why do the stars keep on shining? Why do people always talking about going to the stars and heaven being up in the stars? When life's eternal and grace is infinite, it's like, no, it is not heaven up in space. Trust me. It's nice to look at because we live on a planet with an atmosphere and photosynthesis and gravity. Yeah. But it ain't heaven. Oh, hell no. Okay. Heaven is here on earth. It's like, yeah. Okay. We're all obeying the laws of the glory of God, and we're all loving one another in peace and making sure that baby is born healthy and strong forever, my lady. It's like a dream. That, and then one day they die and they pass it on, and, it's Book of Malachi, and that's heaven, y'all. Hell is you blow up the planet and you're out in space in a spaceship looking for a new place to fuck up because you're an idiot. Okay. Yeah, I've seen those sci-fi movies. I've seen a lot of them. Cattle Car Gigantica, Cylon Toast, right? So, oh wow, you think your ego's maybe gone a little bit too far. In order to get Cylons, it had to be your ego problem and your Cylon Toast and not our religion. Okay, have a nice day. Okay, so you understand? Okay. It's good to be the gracious good shepherd, man. It's good. It's Muhammad, you're going to be yourself. This is nice. Well, because I've always had a hint of sarcasm ever since, laughing, It's very interesting. Since I was a kid, And even since, Oma Barney had a jail and couldn't lock it, had one bullet for his pistol, had to keep it in his pocket. But, yeah, so, well, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. But you guys raise me on TV, and then you guys get upset. Because it's like, this guy's obnoxious, like your television set. Okay. Seems to be the only way you pay attention and or learn. That's true. I totally agree. I concur. Right? And there's a lot less sarcasm in the Gospels before. But there would be, comedy. But it's like Muhammad said, no, we had a lot more fun than the books laid on. And they focus more on the tragedy and less on the good times. And the good times, because the pompous, the manipulative, and the self-righteous, abuse people through their, I am a holy person, I am the keeper of the stars, and all that crap. They suck all the fun out of everything. Self-righteous, pompous, self-righteous, pompous hypocrites. Holy cow, get the Frollo out of here. We're bringing the gypsies in. We're all dancing. And, Quasimodo's going to have a good time. But we can avoid Quasimodo because we don't have toxic environments through abusing people, through our pompousness and our arrogance and our stupidity and our selfishness and such. So a lot of birth defects can be, or are going to be, not going to, can be, are going to be radically eliminated as soon as we're applying the physics of the Lord's Prayer Global. And that makes me more excited because I really love children, and children suffering because of selfishness, because of assholes that, oh, look at me, I can lift 45 kilos with one arm and embarrass that big guy over there. Okay. Can you stop people from invading your house with technology and getting you to do stupid things with camera and money, over money, to, declare yourself one of the sexiest exercisers in the history of exercising them? Well, then just walk away from exercise if it's for money. They'll poison you and try to kill you, but you will survive. And then, once we're living the Lord's Prayer, we'll all be healthy, and no one will be dick measuring about who can lift the heaviest mop in the history of the world. Right? What's wrong with these people? I swear. I tell you, I'm the strongest man on the entire planet. Well, because strength is faithful love. And if you are not capable of faithful love, you are very weak, you're aggressive, you're competitive, you compare, you manipulate, you abuse, you embarrass people, you're condescending, you're abrasive, you're abusive, you're a prize winner, you got lots of money, you got lots of technology, and you got no idea what's whack and what's dope, right? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I like Premier's beats too. Okay. I still, one day, I know Preem has this, so, Preem, give me original version of Manifest, of Words on Manifest. Okay, with the whole da-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Yeah, because, when I used to watch those, every time the two dudes was dancing, they would do ba-na-na-na-na-na. And I thought, this is cool because these lyrics are triumphant, man. So those horns add just the right, it's without the horns, this is not the same song. Without the synth horns that Preem put in there. I profess now and just because the words I manifest, they will take you, sedate you. Well, I will press upon you the fact that you need to feed your minds and souls so you can lead yourself to peace. I got a real objective here. I'm effective here because I select a clear method for all suckers to fall and maul and crawl into the pit of purgatory. I go for glory. I'm taking inventory, counting all the tough luck ducks while I'm here. It's cool. And he uses words that other people don't use, and he uses it right. He sits there and he looks at a word, and he gets the dictionary. I'm sure he does, because he's Malcolm, one of Keith's idols, and people that he looked up to was a man, as Malcolm X, El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. So yeah, he looked in the dictionary, okay, and he would know what the word means, and he was sequenced. So why I marry, and he would take words and he would sequence them together to go with his rhyme, so people could understand language better and what was happening with language and how it affected your life and how people could use language to manipulate you to accept something as reality when it's not. That's Malcolm X in a nutshell, guys. Yeah. Okay, so language is very important, okay? And when you understand language and you use it perfectly and you're a faithful lover, then language is absolutely, wisdom flows through the wires like a babbling brook, okay? But when you use it to manipulate, dictate, legislate, okay, you're a dictator. Nobody likes dictators. We like tater tots, but nobody wants to try to eat your como your vega. ¿Tú entiendes? Okay, thank you. Okay, so, or chupa mi or whatever. Okay, no. Okay, that's a special feeling, Lloyd. No, I know in certain places when you have really good hygiene and you don't want to constantly get each other pregnant, that you could orally do things for it, but it has to be in a very healthy, consensual, mutually respectful, protected relationship. And it's not something that can last. It only can happen when you're at your optimus prime of your immune system. When you get older, there's got to be better ways to take care of each other. Okay? And as an older man, you should not want women to orally gratify you, especially if you've been chemically poisoned by a bunch of jealous perverts, right? So there's things, they can get up. You do the slow ride where they kiss your erect penis with their moist vagina. It's wonderful. My first son used to do that for me all the time. I loved it. We could just sit here and do this for hours. It don't bother me. And it rubs the parts that makes her have fun and enjoy it. It's rubbing the part that makes you have fun, but you're not making a baby, and you're not overpopulating the world, and you're not going to get abused by the assholes with money who say they own it, right? Guys, you want to talk mature? Okay, if you want to go buy prophylactics made from death and decay by people mass murdered in the Strait of Hormuz, so you can get rich, deliver them in diesel trucks that can run into people, and you can make lots of money if you get hit by one of them by a dumbass attorney in El Paso. They also have them in Las Cruces. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? If you want to talk reality, I don't get billions of dollars for people that read Machiavellian books and drive in front of diesel trucks to try to save all their family's financial woes. I had a friend who worked in Permian Basin. I hope he's doing better now. But Cesar, he was working with us in that thing. He got out of that job and into the Permian Basin thing. Well, he was driving a big truck, oil trucks. And that's a lot safer job than working in that Freon death factory in the store. Right? And you don't understand it as well when you're there. You just think, okay, we're young, we can get it out. We drink water. No, it builds up on you and it knocks you down and it kills you. Okay. That's why people make fun of Walmart type people and stuff. Yeah, and it's hard on them, and it physically depletes them, and then they pass away not shortly after retirement, just like military members. Well, it manages the surplus population, decreases the surplus population, keeps the people that are poor and not too smart and everything busy, while all we smart people go around, telling you what to do with your phone and your bank account and your, you don't need to be having too much sex. You're too fat and ugly. But we'll send you pills that can have you fucking her like you were 14 again. But the thing about it is, they'll probably kill you in 4 years. But will it be worth it? Most likely, yeah. If you catch your wife crying because you can't hold an erection because of all your stress and your toxins in your environment, she can be real happy if she takes a good insurance policy out on you, and she's using her money to get fucked by young mindless assholes who then will try everything they can to get a hold of her money. Wow, dumb as fuck. Yes, I know, I understand. Forgive debt, trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. Yeah, line of Father Adam IR. Baboons, weasels, So when you can explain yourself simply, and you can explain eternity in simple terms that go beyond scientific breakdowns to the most minute detail. You're stupid and I'm brilliant and I'm condescending and you can't understand me and I'm going to build a nuclear weapon and threaten to blow you up if I can't invade your house with technology and ask you for money and gain sexual access to the women in your house because I want to make you feel inferior. Okay. Wow. You still like Madame Curie and her husband? Just kidding. No, it's not that. Okay, guys, it's not the sexual thing. Is not that what gets them off. It's the their rape is a mental and emotional rape. It's not physical. Okay? Sheldon doesn't want to have sex with Penny. She's inferior to him intellectually. If they produce children, they might be as dumb as his wife. Okay? So he wants to find Pierre or whatever must find Madame Curie so they can produce children that are the greatest nuclear scientists in the history of let's build a bomb and let's dominate everybody and tell everybody what to do. And we're comfortable because we're establishing what we know are not laws, but they're rules of engagement to make us comfortable so we can never stop trying to grasp the universe with our finite little noggins. And you're like, fuck. All they had to do was just pick up Pascal. Even the Vatican screwing up Pascal's penis, all right? Even when they screwed it up, okay? It's still better than most things that you assholes talk about on TV today about artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and quantum computing. Yes, and what we're going to do in the future to take our inventions and destroy other galaxies because we're damn sure trying to destroy this one. Right. Okay. Hey, George Lucas, how's Ryan Johnson? Don't ask. Don't tell. Okay. Shit. Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, save us. What about jazz? I really like jazz. I like Scatman Crothers. Yeah, it wasn't Scatman, so Scatman, you're trash, bring out your trash. And hey, Scat Cat, Hong Kong Phooey. Yeah, Scatman Crothers did a lot of voices. He did a lot of things to pay his bills. He had a voice that a lot of people enjoy. He's the garbage man on Chico and the Man. He's Jazz from the Transformers. He's gosh, what else? He's Hong Kong Fooey. Okay, he's done because people enjoy and like his voice. Okay, anybody else likes Scatman Crothers? Okay. He's also a good dancer. Yeah, he's very charming and very funny, very comical, very funny, and and then also can deliver a joke real well. Because there are a lot of guys, like a lot of writers, they're funny, but they just don't have the charisma to sell the joke as well. So they get these kids and they call it Saturday Night Live, and then you know what I mean. And so but I think the thing about it is a lot of times when people are funny, they're funny. Okay. It's just without the charisma, it just comes off as like, okay, you're just kind of condescending and a jerk. Okay. And it does come off that way, unless you have the personality to get real Carey with it, or Will Ferrell it, I need more freaking cowbell, right? And stuff. And so, yeah. And, and dress up like Little Debbie. No one needs to dress up like Little Debbie unless it's Little Debbie. Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay. No. And Ralphie's aunt that's abuse. That's child abuse. Okay. Okay. Little girls in bunny suits, if they like bunny suits, a furry one like that when it's cold to wear around the house if you live in like North Dakota. Okay. Yeah, then go for the bunny suit there, All the rage in Manitoba and Ontario and Saskatchewan. Right? In the wintertime, I'm in my little bunny suit. That's really cute, right? Okay. But doing that, especially to us boys, we don't want that. I know. Maybe a bear outfit, like, on 2 bids, 4 bids, 6 bids. You're a dog. No, you're a bear. I see. Okay. Remember that with 2 bids, 4 bids? That's a funny movie. But, we'll still go back in time and say, okay, this is how we pass the time. Because, and look at how dysfunctional. Okay. Been down 1 time, been down 2 times, never going back again. And what's so befuddling and mind-boggling, okay, is that the truth and the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer has been among civilization, okay, since before 2026 years ago. Okay. And for some ungodly reason, they just won't let idolatry and egomania die. Neither one of us wants to be the first. I'll say goodbye first. Bye, egomania, idolatry, selfishness. Bye. Goodbye. Like freaking David Spade being the flight attendant, goodbye, get scats, get out. Hit me in the face with a bottle and I swear, okay, you'll try, but I ain't the dude from Pan's Labyrinth and it ain't gonna be pretty. I'll knock you Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out, okay. I look at my girlfriend, she passed out on the floor. Well, that's because she pissed off my Natalie and Natalie knocked her out, okay. Thank you, Natalie. Don't mess with Natalie, she's tough. She's skinny, but she's tough. That with Amy is like, Steffi was scary and I could restrain her. And Amy was big and tough and I could restrain her. Natalie, she was a tough one. I was like, wow, she's the toughest girl I've ever had to restrain when she loses her mind and acts stupid, just like Patrick's mom and her mom. Yes, okay. You have to be very careful. I remember one time when I did restrain her because she was fighting and getting angry with her mom because she went to Aunt Patrice's house and Patrice coached her to be stupid. And I'm like, oh gosh, don't listen to Aunt Patrice. She doesn't know. She's an emotional kid and I love her, but goddamn, you can't sit her down and go, Patrice, gravity is what holds us to the planet, right? Okay, gravity is not omnipotent essence of all existence, right? Okay, the planet is God. Oh, son of a bitch, here we go again. Here, have another beer. Go smoke. Okay. If I went to don't smoke, okay. You should have listened to more of the Yul Brynner when you were a kid. Okay, but you sit there and you get like that. No, it drove me nuts, when I saw her last and she's physically really ill from drinking and smoking. And 10 years before that, I said, Patrice, you might want to take it easy on the energy drinks and all that stuff. It's going to be real hard on your heart to compound all the smoking and the drinking. That's a short circuit for not much more time left in your physical body. Oh, fuck you, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Don't tell me what to do. And then they come around and they're dying and they want you to feel sorry for them. And it's Jesus' fault, it's men's fault, it's everybody's fault but theirs that they would not stop drinking and smoking and drinking energy drinks, And you're like, what? And you get that with people. You can have one bad moment, but, when Pepino Garcia jumped up on my, with his erection on my butt, and I tossed him off, said, hey, knock that shit off and stuff like that. I didn't go around saying, that he was the one that caused me to have an erection and being able to rub my erection on female body parts. No, that's just natural. Okay. And when you realize, things are going wrong and it's uncomfortable, you correct it, right? And most of it's through tribalism and things like that. But you don't I've never looked at myself as a sexual being, as a pervert, because I do not force myself on other people. I do not abuse other people. And I don't sit there and say, yeah, and trick them and manipulate them. When a woman says no, it means no. When a woman says, if I say yes, it's like, oh, 5-star. Okay. One of my favorites. Yeah, when I was a kid. Well, because I had a crush on the girls. They were cute. And they had a British accent. I know. Let's ask Eddie Murphy. What a dummy. Yeah. Just kidding. No, we Americans have something especially for black women with a British accent. And Caribbean accent. Yes. I'm not speaking for the whole group, but I'm speaking for a large portion of us. Yes. Yes. Virgin Island accent. Yes. We're just like, damn, talk to me some more. You don't have to go. You're the poetry woman. You make things so right. You do. You can't help it, man. She'd be talking again. Okay, if she just didn't talk, she could be saying the stupidest things. I've got more money than Davy Crockett. I prostitute children in Indonesia for my designer clothes. And she's talking in a British accent or a French accent. Yeah, that's also nice. Or a Caribbean accent. And you're like, okay, she's hot as hell. And all I can think, half the words just is me were missing because my primal animal instincts were kicking in. And then, yeah, you have to tell yourself, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I own you. No, you don't. Billy Crystal, no, you don't. No, does not have a mind of its own. I can think for myself. A bottle of lotion and thinking about a girl that can talk about living the Lord's Prayer. That'll do it for me. Okay. And you have to do that. It's really hard. I've been doing it for 16 years. Okay. If I can do it for 16 years, being the most brave, beautiful, precious, kind, faithful, strong man in the history of the world, the rest of you can control your pingas. Alrighty then. I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm so tired of that shit. Make him feel like he's a bad person and a pervert. Okay. Though then, do I get a Nobel Prize and $1 million check, and then buy a jet ski for a hot blonde, and then go to a rock show? I'm just being silly, but you know what I'm saying? Okay. Earl, you're funny. I know. But guys, we got this. Change your attitudes, change your latitudes. We need to restore the ecosystem radically, okay? We have ice ages in between because of changes and things. We don't want it to be self-induced by irrational scientific movements that don't make any sense. We want to change the way we are and then change the ecosystem and radically change it so the ecosystem will change itself and restore our polar ice caps to a more stable, to the stability that it needs for us to have life as we know it and need it. You don't want it to go to extremes where you have volcanoes and other things that react to restore the polar ice caps. We can do it without aggressive psychotic violence and aggressive psychotic behaviors. We're capable. We're more than handy capable. The ghost of George Carlin compels you. Handy capable. Yes. Okay, guys. It's funny. Oh, what do you know? I guess you didn't listen to George Carlin rant and rave on people that manipulate with linguistics, shell shock. Now it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. Before you were painting, now you're taking drugs constantly. Okay. And that's how you get over war. You know how to get over war? Stop doing it. Okay, guys. Wow. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace. Wow. I never went to Catholic school in New York. But I love you guys, all right? All right, peace out, man. We'll talk later, all right?